What?
Yes, indeed. Well, phew. Yes, indeed. I can't wait! I can't wait!
Just the worst.
Don't look. Don't be mean.
What the heck? What the heck? Now then. Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened and the one that deceived everyone. Now then, where to begin?
We already know who did it.
Whoa!
The one who killed Sakura is one of the people that hated her. Byakuya, Toko, or Hiro. It was one of...
Idiot.
I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah! I'd never kill someone, no way!
I don't want to hear your stupid It was one of you. One of you killed Sakura.
And what reason do you have for saying so?
Because you all had a motive. You hated her.
Is that it?
That doesn't make any sense.
That's the only reason you have her accusing us?
That's low. That's about as low as you can get. It was one of you killed.
And what reason do you...
Because you all had you hated her.
Is that it?
That doesn't make it...
That's the only reason you have her accusing us?
No, it's wrong.
Another reason you suspect them is because Sakura wanted to meet with...
Yeah, and that was right before she died. So there's no doubt about it. One of the... The fact that Sakura wanted to meet with all three of them, there's no way that's not suspicious. One of you is absolutely guilty.
I don't deny that she wanted to meet with us, but I never went to see her.
I didn't either.
Yeah, same here. I never saw her.
No, it's wrong. Hiro, when we were talking before, it was white with red polka dots.
What's that got to do with anything?
Red polka dots? That's gotta be the wrapper from the candy I gave Sakura.
No.
Ever since we got into the warehouse, I totally monopolized, so there's no way a single one of them was left in the warehouse.
In that case, Hiro, where did you get that piece of candy?
From Sakura! It's the only explanation.
Well, I mean, but she gave it to me forever ago. It doesn't have anything to...
When? When did she give...
The last time you saw Sakura was...
Yeah, so I must have got it...
Shoot! I got it! I'm not sure about that, Hiro. Ina didn't actually give Sakura, so if that was the last time you saw her, there's...
Damn it! I mean... Oh, that's right! I did meet up with her...
Why the sudden hostility?
But we just talked! That's all! I didn't do anything!
You're acting incredibly suspicious.
You're acting incredibly suspicious!
You are hostile.
It's not just normal hostility! You're the real culprit!
The proof? What?
I'm talking about her... At the scene of the crime, she had written out Toko. It was her dying message.
That's true. I saw...
See?
See?
What are you saying?
You just don't know when.
Hero, hold on. When did you see that dying message?
Huh? Well, when we found Ogre.
But if you recall, Hina was very adamant about keeping you away, so it's hard to believe that's when you actually saw.
I got it! Kyoko, you found the map.
That's right. Looking through the shelf, I found it right there at the scene of the crime.
If that's true, then what Hiro just said doesn't...
What doesn't make sense? Everything I said. I can tell you exactly when I found the dying message. When Ogre's body was discovered.
And I can tell you when I found the dying message. It was only after the investigation had begun. I found the magazine tucked away on the magazine shelf. When I pulled it out, I saw her.
What's your problem? What I said makes total sense!
I can tell you exactly when I found the dying when Ogre's body was discovered.
And I can tell you when I found the dying message. It was only after the investigation had begun. I found the magazine tucked away on the magazine shelf. When I pulled it out,
What's your problem? What I said makes total sense! I can tell you exactly when Ogre's
Body was discovered. I can tell you exactly when I found the dying when Ogre's body was discovered.
and I can tell you when I found the dying. It was only after the investigation had begun. I found the magazine tucked away on the magazine shelf.
When I pulled it out,
What's your problem? What I said makes total sense! I can tell you exactly when Ogre's body
And I can tell you when it was only after the investigation had begun. I found the magazine tucked away on the magazine. When I pulled it out,
What's your problem? What I said makes total sense!
I can tell you exactly when I found when Ogre's body was discovered.
Shoot!
I can tell you exactly when I found the dying when Ogre's body was discovered.
and I can tell you when I found the dying message.
it was only after I found the magazine tucked up. When I pulled it out,
What's your problem? What I said makes total sense!
I can tell you exactly when I found the dying message. When Ogre's body was discovered.
And I can tell you when I found the dying message. It was only after the investigation had begun. I found the magazine tucked away on the magazine shelf.
when I pulled it out,
What's your problem? What I said makes total sense!
I can tell you exactly when I found the dying when Ogre's body was discovered.
And I can tell you when I found the
it was only after I
found the magazine tucked away on the magazine shelf.
when I pulled it out,
What's your problem? What I said makes total sense! I can tell you exactly when
Ogre's body was discovered.
And I can tell you when I found the dying message. It was only after the investigation had I found the magazine tucked away on the magazine.
when I pulled it out,
What's your problem? What I said makes total sense!
I can tell you exactly when I found when Ogre's body was discovered.
And I can tell you when
it was only after
I found the magazine tucked away on the magazine.
when I pulled it out,
What's your problem? What I said makes total sense! I can tell you exactly when Ogre's body was.
And I can tell you when
It was only after I found the magazine when I pulled it out.
What's your problem? What I said makes total sense. I can tell you exactly when
Ogre's body was discovered.
No, that's wrong. When Sakura's body was found, that's where Kyoko found it. And you weren't at the murder scene. So tell us the truth here.
Hold on! You're focusing on the wrong part! All you gotta do is read the Vienna sausage Ogre left us, and we know—
I don't even know where to begin. He's just trying to
Actually, can we even be sure Sakura wrote that message in the first place?
Yeah? I think we can all agree Ogre wrote that message. 100%! Without a doubt, she wrote it! Show me the proof. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. Give it a rest. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. The end is nigh. Show me the proof. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap! Give it a rest! I'm at least 30% right! Show me the proof!
This should prove it. I'm completely unconvinced that Sakura, because if you look at it, the message was almost both of her hands were completely.
Say what?
Then
Hiro could very well have. That would explain how he knew about the message.
Yeah.
I figured as much.
But why would you?
Because Please! Just let me. I got Ogre's note, and so I headed to the rec room right before noon.
You just did exactly as the note asked?
And when I got there. And that's all she said. After that, we just stood. Suddenly, I heard her. As soon as I heard that, I just knew she was gonna kill me and make. So of course I freaked out. I saw my only chance. I grabbed the Monokuma bottle from the I hit her from behind before she had any idea what was happening. Then she just went limp. And once it was over, I pulled myself together. I realized if I didn't, so I wrote Toko's name in blood across a magazine on.
I can't believe you! You're the—
Well, that's what happened. Go ahead.
You're not gonna get off the— It's death. Death for the one that— We're ready to vote now, right?
No, I think there's.
What are you talking about? What else?
There's one thing that Hiro's story, and until we figure that part out.
I refuse to give up yet! Both of the... But... You did.
So of course Then she just once it was.
I can't—
Well,
It's death. We're ready—
No,
What are you talking about?
there's one thing, and until we figure that part out.
I got it! That's true. By the time the body was, why would you take the time?
oh, I didn't hide it. I'm sure I.
Really?
He's lying!
I don't see any reason he would lie now.
Assuming he's telling the truth, Someone else must have put the Mega. In other words, at least one other person was in.
I don't think there's any question. If they went to the trouble of hiding the they must not have.
I got it! It had to be Toko. Who else would want to hide the magazine other than the person who...
Is he right, Toko? Did you really go to the rec room?
Why would I? Wait! That doesn't even matter! We already know Hero just did.
That's right.
No, you don't doubt Hero attacked Sakura with the bottle. But that's not where this case is.
What do you mean?
What he means is that Hero isn't the killer.
You can't be serious! That's just...
Hero, if we go through it once more, it
So...
Just tell us what happened one more time.
I don't really see what... I didn't want to, but I did it. I grabbed the Monokuma bottle from the shelf nearby, and I hit Ogre from behind before she could do anything.
You hit her from behind. And you only hit her once. Is that right?
Yeah, just once. After the first swing, the bottle shattered, and she went limp.
See? Isn't it obvious? Hero really is the killer!
I didn't want to, but I grabbed a Monokuma bottle from the shelf and I hit Ogre from behind before she could do anything.
You hit her from behind. And you only hit her once.
Yeah, just once.
No, that's wrong! If Sakura died from Hero's single blow, that doesn't explain why she had 2 head wounds.
Two?
That's right. She had 2 separate wounds on her head.
And remember, this girl examines dead bodies as a hobby. Personal.
But I only hit her once. How could she have...
2 wounds means she was struck twice. What's more, both attacks must have...
Hold on! How can you know that just from some cuts off she was attacked twice? With 2 Monica...
It's not just because of her head wounds. It's also because of the... There's something very suspicious about... Once you understand that point, you'll understand why 2... Think back. After the incident, and we found pieces of a bottle on the ground.
Along with that was the bottle Hero hit Sakura.
For now, just note that there were 4 intact bottles and 1, but originally there were 6 bottles in total, meaning 1.
But how can you know for sure there were 6
That's easy. If you look at what the bottles all had in common, it should become...
understand? That's it! The chess pieces! Inside each bottle, there was a Monokuma figure holding a different chess piece.
King, rook, bishop, pawn.
And the piece that was inside the knight.
So, I guess you don't know too much about chess, do you? In chess, there are 6 different pieces. What was left intact at the crime scene were the king, rook, bishop, and on the ground was...
Oh! So we only have evidence for 5 bottles at the scene. Well, one apparently went...
What does chess have to do with anything?
Yeah, shogi is way better.
Yeah! Wait, no, that's not what I mean. So, let's say a bottle did go missing. There's still no evidence that has anything to do with that bottle. Could have disappeared any time.
No. It's clear that the missing...
How is it clear?
Think about what state the missing bottle must have been in. Maybe then you'll understand.
Shoot! I got it! The bottle because there was evidence at the scene that support...
Huh?
That's right. We found evidence that shows there was more than just one broken bottle at the scene.
And what is this
Earlier, Kyoko and I did a little experiment. We compared the weight of the broken bottle pieces at the scene to one of the unbroken bottles. And what we found was that the collection of pieces was heavier. And the reason for that is... there was actually more than one bottle's worth of shattered glass.
So from this, we can surmise that 2 bottles were actually broken at the scene of the crime. But someone did their best to clean up the pieces of one of the bottles. But when they did, they must have left behind, which is only natural. They certainly had no way to measure.
Why would they have to try and get rid of it like that?
Because of what it would reveal about the... I got it! The bottle that was removed from the scene was used.
The second wound on Sakura's head came given all the evidence.
The killer wanted to make it look like there was only one attack.
So from there, we can conclude that it wasn't Hiro, wouldn't you agree? And there's the matter of the magazine. You must have been in the rec room.
Wait! I admit, maybe there's no evidence I had anything...
No way! You killed her! I'm sure of it!
Shut up! Until 2 seconds ago, you were claiming you killed her!
I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. That's just the kind of guy I am. Plus, I just remembered something that proves it.
Okay, fine.
It was right after I got Ogre's note. I was kind of nervous about it, so I went to the rec room early. You know, to stake it out or whatever. So I was waiting there, and that's when I saw her. I saw Toko go into the... Pretty soon, Ogre showed up, and she went into the rec room. I assumed Toko was still in there, so I figured everything would be okay. But when I got inside, Ogre was all alone. Toko...
And you just now decided to share that?
After the shock of thinking I killed someone, I forgot all about it.
Could someone tighten the screws on his brain? I think they've come loose.
So, Toko, where the heck did you disappear?
You don't know what you're talking about! I've never went...
I'm sure she didn't disappear, but...
Hiding in the rec room? Why are you all ganging up on me? lie! I admit nothing. I hate you. I curse you. No, no, no! It's enough! I admit nothing. I curse you. I curse you. It's a lie! That's enough!
This should prove it. Did you know someone left a handprint behind on the inside of the... They must have been hiding in there and put their hand on the wall. Does this handprint look familiar, Toko?
Okay then, let's just compare it to your hand, shall we?
Stop wasting my time.
Okay, it's my...
Dang, she just
Then you killed
No, I swear...
Out with it.
I probably did kill her.
straight up like...
Wait, what do you...
Give us the details, Toko. What
Talk.
After I read Sakura's note, I decided to go. I didn't know what she might do if I didn't go. But I figured I'd just sneak in first.
Then, did you see what happened?
Yes. And I saw you write my name.
Well, that's awkward.
So after he left, I jumped out of the locker and put the magazine back on the shelf.
But when you did, you put it back upside down.
I didn't mean to. I was in a hurry.
Imbeciles, all of you.
Forget all that. Why did you attack Sakura?
After I put the magazine back, I heard a sound behind me like a monster, and when I turned around, there was Sakura covered. When I saw that blood, I don't remember what happened after that. If you want to know more, you'll...
Guess it's
It was your fault after...
my fault, Master's fault. When our faults combine, they soar to even greater heights.
Just answer the question. Did
Well, to be honest, Miss Morose and me don't actually share our so I can't really say what was going on. But I was just minding my own business, sleeping peacefully when someone should was it a prince paying me a visit? I wondered. So I opened my eyes. Splatter everywhere! Well, I guess it took me by surprise. I got so startled, I smacked her with the first thing I could find, which I guess was a bottle. Sakura was just worried about you, and you... No, she's terrible! Thanks to her, I murdered someone who wasn't an adorable boy for the first time ever!
And when it was all over, you collected the pieces of the bottle to get rid of...
I wasn't about to die for some woman! If I'm gonna go down, I want it to be for killing Mask!
just go away and die your meaningless death alone?
But I just can't catch a break, you know? Fate's got it out for me. Because normally, Sakura should have been able to dodge my attack. No!
Even as strong as she is, she must have still been reeling.
Hey, come on! That's... But anyway, I'm not the one that killed Ogre!
Well then, that's that. What's wrong? Come on, everyone.
No.
Huh? Not yet?
Don't you think there was something odd about Toko's story?
Odd?
Hiro's attack, and then Toko's. Tell us your story one more time. Tell us what happened. Then even this gaggle of idiots should understand what I'm...
Your wish is my command? I was just sleeping peacefully, and all of a sudden, Sakura was right there in front of me. I remember waking up right in front of the magazine shelf.
You were taken by surprise when you saw Ogre covered in blood. So you smashed her head in with the Monokuma bottle?
You got it! I smashed her good!
And where did the attack take place?
Right where I woke up! I killed her there in front of the shelf! I was just sleeping peacefully, and all of a sudden, Sakura was right there in front of me! I remember waking up right in front of the magazine shelf.
You were taken by surprise. spies when you saw Ogre covered it?
You smashed her head.
You got it!
And where did the attack?
Right where I woke up! I killed her there in front of the shelf!
No, that's wrong! We found Sakura sitting upright. If the blow by the shelf was the cause of death, there's no explanation why she...
So, you...
That's just another lie from a bloodthirsty...
Are you sure you didn't attack her while she was sitting in the chair?
No, I'm sure she's telling the truth. Anyone who saw the murder scene should think the same way.
I got it! Sakura was definitely attacked and the blood stained by the magazines.
Then she must have moved the body after she killed her, right? All to make it look like I did it! Because when I hit her, she was sitting in the chair!
Hey, come on now, look at me! I can't carry anything heavier than my own scissor! There's no way I can move a muscle-bound heavyweight like that!
Then what's...
Well, are you still convinced, Vicky?
Plus, the biggest mystery of all, until we take care of that, we can't...
Oh, that part after she killed Sakura, Toko...
So she just hid in there? So while everything was all confused and hectic, she just snuck out of...
No, I don't think... I got it! Even before we opened the door to the rec room, and at that point, the lock... So obviously Toko couldn't have been...
I don't know! What's this whole locked room thing about anyway?
How did you not know?
I think the fact that I don't know proves I didn't kill her! Thank you very much! You're lying!
No, she's not. I've been saying all along, there's still...
But if Genocide Jill didn't do it, that means Ogre...
And
Well, I can't...
that's because you're overlooking vital...
What was it that killed Ogre? If it wasn't from Genocide Jill's attack, then what was it?
There's no other possible cause that killed Sakura. I can't think of anything other than the shot to her head.
Shoot! What was it that killed Ogre? If it wasn't from Genocide... Jill's attack? And what was it?
There's no other possible cause that killed Sakura. I can't think of anything other than the shot to her head.
No, that's wrong! According to the Monokuma file, I think we can assume there's a chance. In fact, there was even a trace of blood.
Well, I mean... maybe when she got...
If that's all it was, the file wouldn't have specified not to mention, I didn't find any cut...
You even checked in there? God, you really are into...
No, I'm not into dead bodies.
But if there wasn't a cut or anything, then what made her vomit blood?
Some sort of reaction within her body. Sakura was
Poisoned?
That's right. This is the...
You're making me... She was poisoned?
Is it really so hard to believe? Then let me explain.
You can...
Of course.
Everyone quiet!
But you're the only...
The key to unlocking this mystery was hiding in the chem...
Not in the
You never would have, since you gave up on the search the moment you were barred from the crime scene.
Well...
There's a big shelving unit in the chem lab that houses a variety of mixtures and chemicals. And that's where I found...
Is that...
It's not an especially powerful poison, but it'll still kill you. But the specific properties don't matter. What does matter is
Where'd you find it?
the shelf is divided up in Section A, dietary supplements, in...
And that's where the poison came from?
Well, that's the question.
got it! The poison was actually in section...
You just said that...
Strange, isn't it? Why would there be a bottle of poison mixed in with all those nutritional...
Yeah, so?
Because the culprit switched it out. That...
What?
I mean... Ugh, that tastes awful.
Oh no! Matt, you have to drink some water! You can't just swallow powder! It'll stick to your throat!
Idiot! He just swallowed poison! We need to make him spit...
The flavor certainly makes me want to spit it out. What's so high quality about this stuff? Huh? What are you... I'm talking about the protein.
Protein?
Can I see that bottle for a second?
Sure.
This is... It's red.
Correct. That wasn't poison in the bottle, but harmless which makes one want the poison that should have been in that bottle.
Now I understand! Poison? If the protein's in the poison bottle, it's...
Absolutely. The contents, so the protein was in the bottle of poison, and the poison, once you accept that, it becomes obvious how the culprit was able to get Sakura. All they had to do was hand her something there at the scene, and she was happy.
Shoot! You're saying they gave her a protein
drink which actually contained...
What?
That's all it took to kill Sakura.
You know? I do remember Ogre saying that protein stuff was good for... So maybe she took it to try and help with the whole...
But what was offered to her instead was a bottle full of... And I already know exactly.
For real?
Evidence revealing who replaced the two materials was left in the chem...
I got it! The footprints left behind. That's the evidence you're talking about.
I visited the chem lab this morning, and there were they must have appeared around the time of the murder, which leaves no doubt. What's more, the footprints were in front of the culprit must have gone to Section A, and given how clear the prints were, figuring out who they belong to will put all we have to do is check everyone's footprints right now.
It was me. The footprints. If you're all gonna find out, I'd rather you hear it straight from...
Ogres...
Yep, I did it.
Just as I... The footprints were made by a pair of sneakers. And the only people here who wear sneakers are...
I got it! Me and Hina are the only ones.
If the footprints didn't belong to Makoto, that left only one chest. Plus, Hina's been acting strange ever since you were in an awful rush to this whole time. You've been What about it? Can't you believe?
Well, it's just...
That's likely exactly why it turned out this. Because they were so close. Sakura didn't think twice about it when Hina used that trust to... She deceived the victim, and she tried... I have to say, Hina, coming from you, this was a particular...
Did you really?
Why? I found her. There, and she asked me to bring her that protein drink, but when I went to get the powder from the chem lab, it just...
Now's my chance to kill her. That's when you switched out the protein powder, and that's when you gave her the poison.
And then...
Hold it! I'm not convinced.
You're not about to claim she wouldn't kill a close friend. You still don't get it, do you? The game we're playing, honeyed words like friendship don't matter here. What matters is outwitting the opponent. Not a person alive would sacrifice themselves for another. In the end, we're just like how this girl sacrificed Sakura.
You say that, but I'm still...
How many times do you...
Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying it because of some misguided sense, but there's still that one unsolved mystery. And I'm not convinced.
Are you talking about the locked room?
Hina.
that doesn't matter!
No, it doesn't.
Surely you're not...
And if I...
Impossible. She switched out the mixtures.
Are you sure about that? Even ignoring the fact that I don't want to believe it.
What doesn't?
I mean, why would it's too...
He's right. It makes it look like you...
I was just... nervous.
You didn't...
Yeah, that's just how it was.
Listen, Hina. Could you tell us more about when you switched the...
How come?
Hina.
Waste your time if you like. There's nobody else to suspect.
Go ahead, Hina. Start from the
Right away, I went to section C.
And is that when you spilled the powder in front of that part of the shell?
Yeah. When I opened the bottle...
I see.
Okay, so then I moved to section A and got the protein powder. And that's where I switched. Once I was done with that, I took the protein can that had the poison in it and left the room. But I accidentally put the bottle filled with protein powder back on the wrong shelf. And because of that, everything I did got found.
That story you just told. First you went to section C to get the poison. Then moved to section A, meaning you went from section C to section... Can you repeat that series of...
What's wrong with you, Big Mac?
It's the same thing no matter how many times you hear it. How long...
First I went to section C. That's when I grabbed the poison.
And you spilled some of the powder on the ground in front of the shelf.
Yeah. When I grabbed the bottle, I dropped it.
Okay, and then?
I moved from section C to section A. And that's where I switched the powders. Once I was done switching them, I put the bottle filled with the protein powder back in section A. Then I took the bottle with the poison in it and left the chem lab. That's all there is to it.
Honestly, that's enough. How much longer must we tolerate this?
First I went to section C. That's when I grabbed the poison.
And you spilled some of the powder on the ground in front of the shelf.
Yeah. And I grabbed the bottle.
Okay,
And then I moved from section C to to Section A. And that's where I switched the powders. Once I was done switching, I put the bottle filled with the protein powder back in Section A. Then I took the bottle and left the chem lab. That's all there is to—
Honestly, that's enough. How much longer must we tolerate?
First I went to Section— that's when I grabbed the poison.
And you spilled some of the powder on the ground in front of the shelf.
Yeah. When I grabbed the bottle—
Okay, and then?
I moved from Section C to Section A. And that's where I switched the powder. Once I was done switching, I put the bottle filled with the protein powder back in Section A.
Shoot!
First I went to Section C. That's when I grabbed the poison.
And you spilled some of the powder on the ground in front of—
Yeah. When I grabbed— okay, and I moved from Section C to Section— and that's where I switched the powders. Once I was done switching them, I put the bottle filled with the protein powder back in Section A. Then I took the bottle with the poison in it and left the chem lab. That's all there is to—
Honestly, that's enough. How much longer must we tolerate this?
First I went to Section C. That's when I grabbed the poison.
And you spilled some of the powder on the ground in front of the shelf.
Yeah. When I grabbed the bottle—
Okay, and then?
I moved from Section C to Section A, and that's where I switched the powders. Once I was done switching them, I put the bottle filled with the protein powder back in Section A. Then I took the bottle with the poison in it and left the chem lab. That's all there is to it.
Honestly, that's enough. How much longer must we tolerate this?
went to Section C. That's when I grabbed the poison.
And you spilled some of the powder on the ground in front of you.
When I grabbed and then I moved from Section C to Section A.
No, that's wrong. You said you went to get the poison from Section C. And that...
Yeah?
And after that, you said you moved from... But the footprints left at the scene were not moving from Section... That contradicts what you...
Then maybe she moved in some weird direction.
No, that can't be it. Remember...
What the? Hina, what's the
You lied to us. If you look at the footprints, your movements in the the powder had already been spilled when you came in, and you went straight to Section X, so you never went to Section C. Whatever you did...
Well,
What the hell?
And the footprints aren't the only problem with it. Before I explain that part,
New evidence?
are you sure? After all, it was hidden inside the bottle of poison you... I'm amazed you, of all people, would miss such a vital...
Just say it already! What is it you-
I found... It had sunk to the bottom of the bottle, and the hidden clue was exposed, thanks to you ingesting the... I couldn't have solved the mystery without you.
But...
Oh, you still don't read Makoto. Why don't... Huh?
if you...
I got it! It's part of the window from the rec room door, right?
The window?
The window we broke to get in was light blue, just like that.
You're right. It must be. How did a shard of glass from the window get in...
what's so strange about that?
What's strange is that... What? I got it! The bottle of poison. And yet, you think in reality, that bottle of poison most definitely... It was there at least until the window got broken. There's no other way to explain the present...
And then, once the room was opened, the bottle somehow got... Meanwhile, the protein... That had to be after the lock...
Hold on. I'll grant you, the bottle of poison, but how can you say the protein can was put there? We already know she was given the protein. That can wasn't there.
You're right. We do, but before we do, there's something I'd like to... Huh? It has to do with the... After Sakura's body was discovered, did anyone move...
What are you talking about? Is this some kind of loaded question?
Not at all. Just answer...
Well, no.
Yeah.
Not me.
Same here.
Okay then. That proves that the protein can found its way to the murder scene after...
Oh, come on! How can you know what I...
When it comes to that protein can, there's not a doubt in my mind. Until the locked room was unlocked, it absolutely was not in there.
So you're saying... someone planted it there after we got the door open?
No. No, that's impossible! It had to have been in there the whole time! It had to be! It was in there before the rec room was unlocked!
When it comes to that protein can, there's not a doubt in my mind. Until the locked room was unlocked, it absolutely was not in there.
So you're saying... someone planted it there after we got the door open?
No. No, that's impossible! It had to have been in there the whole time! It had to be!
It was in there before the...
No, that's wrong! You remember how there was broken glass?
Of course, it came from the window.
Well, those pieces weren't just scattered around. We also found pieces underneath.
What?
And this, it shows that the can must have been put down on the floor, so it had to be.
I see. Kyoko, earlier when you asked if anyone had moved the can or
If that were the case, that would explain the.
So you asked everyone about it to eliminate that possibility right out of.
And that's made everything clear. As long as it was a locked room, it only contained the bottle of poison, and not. But once the room was opened up, they were switched. The protein can wound up in the rec room, and the bottle of.
That's all true, then why? I thought we all agreed she was tricked into drinking it because of the.
No, the only explanation is she drank it from it.
Precisely. She was alone in a locked room. All she had was the poison.
You're saying she drank it? Such a ridiculous.
Exactly what happened.
Then tell us already. Sorry.
Before we get to that, we need to clarify. We need to establish who exactly got the poison from the chem.
It was Hina, right?
What do you think,
I got it! I think.
Huh? So Sakura, who was apparently... What are you talking about?
On the contrary, we know for a fact she went to the chem lab, right to the section.
You're lying! Why? What? You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! I'm telling you, I did it! Stop talking! You're a liar! Wrong! You're wrong! Wrong! You're wrong! I hate you! You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! I'm telling you, I did it! Stop talking! Do you have any kind of proof Sakura took the poison?
This should prove it. Hina, did you know? It did. The same. That powder. What? So the powder we found on Sakura.
Wait. So
And it was only on her instinct.
Sakura must have been standing right there where the powder. So the person who spilled the powder by the shelf was. And when Sakura dropped the bottle, she dropped it away, which is how she was able to avoid getting it all over. But the powder still got scattered around, and some of it must have wound up on her instead. Is there any problem with my thinking?
But why did Sakura pay a visit to Section C in the first? The only explanation is that she was looking for poison. After all, that.
No! It was because I...
No. Here's my answer. The one who killed Sakura?
What? The killer was.
wait, so you're saying
I don't believe it. I don't believe it any more than
I can't believe it either. Or rather, but when you really think about it, Sakura went and got the poison. She barricaded herself all so she could end her own, and that explains why we couldn't solve the mystery. I got it! The locked room mystery was
I'm sure she locked herself in so nobody could stop her from doing. She sat there, drank the poison, and breathed her. And the empty bottle of poison rolled around the locked room. At that point, someone grabbed the bottle and snuck it out of. And that was you. You did it to throw off the investigation. When we found her body, you stayed because you already knew, and because the bottle of poison had rolled near the door.
That's when you picked up the bottle, right? I was too shocked to notice anything, and Kyoko was busy checking.
And the more I think about it, the more... You said you were going to go, but your real intention was to go to the chem lab and switch out the containers. Once you were at the chem lab, you headed straight to the section where there, you took the powder and poured it into the bottle of poison you'd grabbed when you left the lab. All you had were thinking about it like that. The footprint.
When you were done, you gathered everyone to... While everyone else was focused on Sakura, you... Honestly, you should have been the first one to run up to Sakura. The Hina I know never would have left her side in this...
So, in order to hide this fact, Hina undertook a series of actions as long as you could disguise the truth. You didn't care if we blamed you, that's why you didn't bother to get rid of the footprints in the powder and the bottle.
So you're saying Hina consciously deceived us to make it...
No, I killed her!
That's enough, Hina.
It's not!
It is! Actually, no, you have to end this The killer is... you! This... Specifically... But one of them headed out. She got there once... The killer is... you! But one of them headed out. She got there. And she found it. Then... next... What? Without thinking... He took him to that end. But if she, but in she, soon after, she this when she and this she and but so then it would she and then lick we but and that's and while they in it and the
Okay.
What?